There he is, right there.
So our own bee, who recently moved, has a deck that is besieged with carpenter bees. She's been carefully removing them one at a time and transporting them about 4 or 5 miles away. 40 of them so far. Meanwhile, back at Buzz Park, there's a lot of work that needs to be done. So let's get over there and get busy.
Got him?
The first order of business was to check in with our 2 packages. I didn't expect that they would have done any draw out on the upper super. We stuck it on there because, well, we were about to enter a honey flow. But needless to say, we just wanted to make sure that they were secure and functioning and, being bees.
Nobody's really coming up here yet. Are they? No. Well, there's a little bit of bridge comb. They're not working their way up into the upper super yet. Good. This one, on the other hand, I am seeing bees up here. Let's see. Again, packed out on the bottom, but nobody's coming up into the super. Not gonna. This hive, I think, requires some immediate attention. Something going on here. I'll make sure we're not about to swarm. Not impossible considering the condition last week, which was pretty built up. Bees right up to the top of the screen. Bottom whiteboard has a lot of capping, so it may be a hatch out. But we had also found queen cells in here, and they are a little erratic. I'm just going to pull this top honey super straight off. We'll get right down to looking at what's going on inside. We'll take a rip. Some drone, some older brood, some cells that are cleaned out. More brood, but I'm looking for eggs and larvae. Or if I happen across a queen, I'll be perfectly happy with that.
There was about to be some irony in that statement. In any case, if you see capped brood, no larvae and no eggs, that means you probably haven't had a queen for about a week.
Again, there is covered brood. Not seeing eggs and larvae yet. What could be an emerged queen cell. There's someone in there right now, but I don't think it's a queen. That's just a worker bee. There we go. Honey. Honey. Somewhat pissy bees. Heavy frame of capped honey. But of course, the missing ingredient here is brood. So far. cells are cleaned out. And lo and behold, look what we have on the bottom. Emerged queen cell.
We had had some bad weather, and that may have prevented a swarm. The hive was still very, very populated.
2 queen cells that are capped. We're just going to leave these capped queen cells for a second so we can assure that there is a queen in the hive.
Sometimes in bad weather, the queens just kind of duke it out.
2 capped queen cells on this frame.
The old and new queen can both end up dead in the battle, leaving the hive queenless.
No eggs yet. No larvae. And what looks like another queen cell. This one, however, might have a queen in it. Might be a virgin queen. So what we have here is a nice solid virgin queen. She was just getting ready to come out the cell. And we're going to hold on for her a little bit because we have another hive over there which may or may not be queenless. I got to get some attendant bees in there with her, but we'll do that in a little bit. Let me just lay her down there. Continue on this.
My mind was already pondering what on earth to do with this queen, since I had sworn I wouldn't kill any queens to our own bee.
I see no new eggs.
Normally you get a bit more of a roar out of a colony if they're queenless, so there could be a virgin queen bouncing around in this colony somewhere. But they certainly were acting erratic, and they certainly were a little pissy. Even more pissy than usual, so that's kind of an indicator that the colony is in disarray.
Now, we've seen what we can see on this one.
There was nothing more we could really learn by exploring any further, so I decided to put the colony back together. I wanted to get a couple of attendant bees into that cage to take care of the queen in case she was going to be in there a while. Also, it's a good idea to smear a little honey onto the cage when you got bees in it. That way they have something to eat. Otherwise, well, they could starve if you left them long enough. I figured she probably wouldn't really be in there that long, but better safe than sorry in case I have to put her in a hive and keep her for a little bit.
They appear to be queenless. Not quite seeing the roar of a queenless hive, but so there's 2 queen cells in there. They're about ready to hatch. So these guys are either going to end up with a virgin queen to be mated, or we're going to trigger a swarm. We'll move on to the hive that we know was queenless last week. All I'm looking for on this hive is to see any sign of eggs or brood. If I have eggs or brood, I'm happy. Our queen with our attendants in here. Now the queen is over there to your right. Now she's coming up to the top. Nobody's attacking anybody, but I don't know. They're not too happy I shoved them all in there like I did. Time to further upset the apple cart.
So this hive had swarmed about 2 weeks ago. Every indication is that they had a virgin queen left in the hive, but really want to actually see if that queen got out there and mated. And the only way of, knowing that she's mated is to find
eggs. I see eggs. I don't know whether the camera will focus on this, but these lower cells have some eggs in them. That's a good sign. I'm going to close it for now. So, what do you do with a spare virgin queen? Unfortunately, mated queens are worth a lot, but virgin queens are a dime a dozen. However, our own bee has made me promise never to kill any queens. This video is running a little long today, so we're going to leave you with that cliffhanger. What did we do with that queen? Well, stay tuned. Come back next week and see what we did with the renegade virgin queen.